Thank you for watching this video. To best support the channel, please take a moment and click the subscribe button. Also, the links to purchase this fly and the materials to tie the fly are in the description.
Today we are tying up one of the most effective flies that I've ever fished during a BWO hatch or a blue wing olive hatch. It's a parachute BWO pattern. In the vise we have a Moonlit Tagata ML221 hook in size 18, and we're using some Semperfli Nano Silk in 12/0 or 50 denier. Go ahead and get that started on your hook and go to about the midway point of it. And this is where we're going to tie in our trailing shuck, which is going to be a gray antron. I've also used an orange antron here, and that works as well. So tie that in, lock it in nice and tight, and go down just into the middle of the bend of the hook. And wrap your thread back forward, giving an olive body over that gray antron. And trim that off. Next, we're going to go ahead and clean up just a couple of straggler pieces real quick. There we go, got it. Now we're going to go ahead and grab some white yarn for our post. And we're going to split the yarn into half and then take just a little bit out so it's somewhere between 1/3 and a half of the normal size yarn. And we're going to snug that in, slide it so we're not covering up our eye, and lock that into place super tight. And build just a general taper there. Now we're going to wrap our thread around and behind the yarn post to get that started and locked into place. You'll see that the yarn kind of plays a little squirrely with you. So what you can do is switch hands, wrap around, and then once you want to lock it in place to get those thread wraps started, just do a couple wraps behind it and then start wrapping around it again. That'll allow you to get the post to stay upright. And then end with the thread on top of the hook, on your side of the hook, so that you can grab your feather to tie in the parachute. This is a midge-sized hackle in blue dun. We have just a little bit of the stem cleaned off, stripped off some of the feathers, and have it so that the curve is facing up, so it's concave up. And wrap your thread around that, get that locked into place. And to increase your durability, just put a tiny little dot of UV resin. Oh, I've got a little bit of the stem sticking out. Let's trim that off. So go ahead and get just a tiny dot of UV resin and put it right there to increase your durability and help lock everything in place a little better. Then go ahead and take our feather and wrap that around in nice wraps, trying to keep everything as much above the hook shank line as we can. Now that we have that wrapped around, go ahead and take your thread and wrap the same direction you would if you were doing your hackle, just right around that post, and go over and under that hackle stem so you can get it locked into place. And this might cause a couple of spare fibers to go a little ski-wampus. That's okay. We can trim those up in a second. Now wrap your thread behind and then under and around so you can get your thread off the post and back around the hook shank. Cure that UV resin. Now go ahead and grab your whip finish tool, pull back those fibers from the parachute post, and do a whip finish. Get that locked in nice and tight. Trim off your thread. And then go back in, turn sideways so you can see where the stem is, and just nip that stem ever so gently so you can get it to come free and loose. Now trim your yarn post so it's about the same length as your hackle, and you now have a completed fly. As mentioned, this fly is absolutely super effective. Grab some in the shop. Thanks, bye.